Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Alex, this is Make It Good, and this is the fourth video in my series of recommendations before the upcoming 50% off Criterion sale at Barnes & Noble. That should be happening up in July. And this video is going to be all dedicated to road trip movies. Very simple. Love a good road trip movie. So let's go ahead and jump in. If you're in the mood for a good road trip movie and you haven't seen one of these, maybe these will catch your fancy. Let's take a look. All right, so my first recommendation for these series of road trip movies is Spine number 707. This came out in 1962. This is an absolute classic road trip movie, and that is Il Sorpasso by Dino Risi. So this film is really that clash of different personality types. You've got one guy very straight-laced, very high-strung, and he gets wrapped up in this seemingly innocent road trip movie with the other guy who is wildly erratic. He's unpredictable, and slowly throughout the film, you see the student, the high strung guy, just get mellow out a little bit. He starts to accept having fun. Really great film. A lot of people, it does have kind of a shocking ending that, does really come out of nowhere. And a lot could be said about that ending. I'm not going to talk about the ending here, just because I don't want to ruin that. It's available online if you absolutely need to know. But the great thing about this is that it really set up that sort of, a mixed-matched pair of friends heading on the road together, and the conflicts that come out of it. I really, in a lot of ways, identified more with the student than the erratic bachelor, just because I was always that guy. Like I like to be comfortable. I like to be indoors. I don't like to be pulled out of my comfort zone. But it's a lot of fun to watch somebody get pulled out of that comfort zone, and you're going to get a lot of that in this film. So Il Sorpasso, great road trip movie. The next film that I want to recommend in these road trip movies is Spine number 736. 1934 is the year it was released, and of course I'm talking about It Happened One Night with Clark Gable and Claudette Colbert. This film, much like Il Sorpasso does, really set a template for a certain type of movie. This really is one of the seminal rom-com type movies, with, once again, an ill-matched pair. You have Claudette Colbert. She's a rich, spoiled socialite, and Clark Gable, who's just a man of the people. He's a reporter, and he wants to break the story of Claudette's character, who has disappeared. And he found her, he came across her, and he's kind of holding on to her because he wants to break that story. But along the way, they start to find some common ground. They start to find a little romance, maybe, and so it's just that wonderful sort of, very, very familiar romantic comedy, but this is, one of the movies, if not the movie, that really set that template moving forward. So if you have not checked out It Happened One Night and you love romantic comedies, this is a fantastic one. Absolutely iconic scene with them hitchhiking on the side of the road. You will see that in a number of movies moving forward. So check this one out. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, the next film that I want to recommend is a film that I actually see fairly low on a number of lists from this particular director, which is surprising because I enjoyed it quite a bit when I saw it. This is Spine number 540, came out in 2007. This is the most recent of the movies that I'm going to recommend, and that is the Darjeeling Limited by Wes Anderson, starring Adrian Brody, Owen Wilson, and Jason Schwartzman. They play three brothers whose father has just died, and they are on a spiritual journey across India. but I don't, they're not, they have their own hangups that are kind of really keeping them from connecting, and, finding this sort of inner peace within them. Their mother is played by Angelica Houston, who, she's off kind of doing her own thing, living in a nunnery, and was not going to be a part of this funeral. So they're also on a quest to find their mother. Lot of really great moments along this. Obviously, a different type of road movie, being on a train, but I definitely still fits the bill since it's a very like they just move forward. Conflicts happen, and they have to find a way to deal with them together. Absolutely fun movie. Again, a lot of folks I have seen don't like this movie. So for a very long time, I avoided this one, just because I was like, I've got other Wes Anderson movies I'd rather see. But, as I was filling out my Wes Anderson collection, I realized I had not seen this one. I went ahead and blind bought it, and I loved it. So, once again, it's a very Wes Anderson movie where, maybe the characters aren't all completely likable. They're, very, very flawed characters in a lot of way. Maybe that's why people don't like it. But I love it, and I'm going to recommend it. All right, so the final film that I want to recommend before the 50% off sale at Barnes& Noble is a road trip movie that was directed by arguably one of the masters of the road trip movie. This spine number is 1007. It came out in 1991. That is, of course, Until the End of the World by Wim Wenders. This movie stars William Hurt and Solveig Daum-Martin, or Daum-Martin, as a pair of strangers that have a chance encounter. Solveig Daum-Martin's character, is kind of directionless. They're living. It's a very strange sci-fi film. It's not quite post-apocalyptic, but it's a little dystopian, but it's still familiar at the same time. They're using technology predicted in 1991 that does mirror technology we use today in certain ways. But she, is feeling disconnected, we'll say. And she comes across William Hurt's character, who is, seemingly on the run. He's being pursued by, mysterious people. And she gets fascinated by him, and she just desires to help him. She desires to be around him. Sam Neill plays her. I don't want to say husband, maybe boyfriend or partner. And, he is also like kind of caught up in this because the woman he loves is now finding herself attracted to someone else. And this is a world spanning road trip movie. It goes country to country, and they did film in these countries. The movie is, I will say, very, very long. It is almost 5 hours long, but it is conveniently on two separate discs, and they found a very good halfway point to do that. So if you want to start the movie on one day and finish it on another, absolutely, you can do it miniseries style. The second half of the film is actually all in one location. So the first half is really the road trip part of it. And this goes into very interesting territories, and very, self-exploratory, and the importance of dreams even are a major part of it. Max von Sydow plays a major character in the second half of the movie, and his relationship with William Hurt's character is complicated and interesting, and it's a fascinating movie. I was thinking about it for several weeks afterwards, and so, if you like sci-fi and you want a road trip movie, absolutely, you could do very well picking up Until the End of the World. All right, so that is it for my road trip movie recommendations right before this 50% off sale happening in July. Hopefully, we never really know until it actually happens, but no reason it won't be happening. What do you think? Are there other road trip movies in the collection that I didn't mention? Obviously, a ton from Wim Wenders. Feel free to put those down in the comments below. I'm definitely going to probably check out at least one of those during the sale. But if there's any others I missed that I'm overlooking, please feel free to, mention down there. I love finding out new movies that maybe I'm overlooking. And of course, if you enjoyed this, like, share, subscribe. It really helps out the channel. It gets more people viewing. And of course, as usual, watch good movies, eat good food, take care of yourself, someone else if you can, and make it good to the best of your ability. Take care. See you in the next video.